Welcome, soul family, to our Waxing GIBBOUS reading. This is our first real reading of 2023, and it's a tribe reading. I actually got really excited when the medicine cards came in because I thought we were going to do a pick a reading, and I heard no, because for the energy, the fourth moon phase, the Waxing GIBBOUS moon phase, we are focusing on refining and focus. We are here to speak with the spirit animal medicine. That's what the medicine cards are. They're spirit animal medicine cards. This is the deck here. All of this wanted to come out. It was really interesting. Also, I wanted to show you that's my new calendar that I got. And I don't know if you guys watched my little birthday reading back in December, but my mantra, my personal mantra for 2023 was to be kind. And so when I went there, there was only two choices for this type of calendar that I wanted. And one was just an animal print. And I was kind of leaning towards that because I was like, is that our spirit animal for the year? Like, I got excited, you know? And then when I saw the other one said, I just saw the flowers. I didn't see the words. And then when it said, always be kind, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a no-brainer. So, hope and humility and kindness. Sorry, I didn't mean to get really loud. I just got excited. But those are our key words for 2023. I just put together a little shorts about hope and humility from Spirit. It's really cute. And long story short, I've just been having a lot of fun with Spirit. Also, for those of you who are aware of Galactica, I started recently, well, I started channeling her years ago, but I didn't understand. I just thought she was going to be a character in one of my books. But I would see her so vividly, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's real. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But then in 2022, I started to actually channel her, and she is from the Nine. If you're not familiar with the Nine, you may want to research it. Put in like the Nine spiritual or, you know, aliens, Pleiadians. I don't know what you want to put with it because I personally believe the Nine come from 9 different sectors of the universe, something like that. But we're going to basically what I was here to tell you is that I am going to be doing more channeling from Galactica. Those of you who've been walking with us a long time, welcome back. And to the new people, welcome. You know that I'm a huge fan of Braca Goldsmith, and Braca channels the Pleiadians. And I've always loved her transmissions, and I could feel that she was real, that she wasn't, you know, but also as, you know, with all the gifts that I have, I can also tell like when Braca is like trying to fight it or trying to, you know, and Braca and I have so much in common. I swear we either know each other or we're going to meet each other in this lifetime. But either way, I love her. But that there's going to be more of that. So instead of like just channeling like the Pleiadians, I'm going to be channeling the Nine, whatever that means. I'm still kind of like fuzzy with that. It's like, of course, my higher self knows, you know what I mean? It's just my human that still hasn't like gone, you know, through that closet yet or hasn't unpacked that information, hasn't fully received the downloads. I'm not sure, but I do know that Galactica will be coming through, and I will just be doing short transmissions from her, and I will have a segment of that will be on this channel. My channel is evolving. I'm very excited. I'm going to be working more with the planets this year. I'm going to be working more with astrology. And if you haven't checked it out, today Spirit had me post the sunrise. And I realized, I was like, wow, yeah, I normally do that. Almost every single January 1st, I go outside and I do some type of thing outside and record. And I just wasn't drawn to it. It was kind of a gloomy day yesterday. It was chilly. I went out for a minute, but I just wasn't feeling it. And then this morning, I woke up before the sun came up. And I woke up before my husband, which is kind of rare. And long story short, when I started preparing for the morning and, you know, getting tea ready and stuff, all of a sudden I could see through like my blind that the colors were just like magnificent. And I like opened the blind and I was like, oh, and it took my breath away. Of course, my camera could never capture how awesome, but I just videotaped it and then I just started talking. I don't even know what I said. I haven't even like looked back on it or edited or anything. But I will put a link to that below. If not, just go look on my main page. It's right there. It's not really a nature meditation so much. It's like, I don't know, some type of, that's why I said moon day musings. And for the new people, I was born on a Monday, on a moon day. So I do believe that is why I'm so connected to the moons and the moon cycles, the phases, etc. and their energy and how they affect us every single month. So when I was putting this calendar together, it took me the whole almost like 4 hours to write all of like the things that are happening, and I didn't even do the astrology. This was just like the moon phases, the energies, like what's happening, Mercury retrogrades. I haven't even done all the super moons and all that yet, but I will. But it was just really interesting going through it and seeing what's going on. Like August looks really cool. We've got a blue moon. We've got a full moon on August 1st and a full moon on August 31st. So that's going to be really powerful for our Leos and our Virgos of the tribe. Yeah, like there's going to be some cool shit. I really feel like 2023, you guys, like I feel like we all walked through a door. I feel lighter. I feel better. So many things are making sense to me of why we're still not in the house, and just so many things. And I think also accepting that this, once I accepted that and was okay with this, that this may not be our home or our place, I feel like everything started to feel more like our home and our place. But there's a lot of things that have to happen and change before we do that. And I don't want to move into the house like that. It's not easy living like this by any means, but it's strengthening my character and it's strengthening who I am. And in this waxing gibbous energy, the first real moon phase of, January, brand new year, January 2nd is the day today, the date, but 2023. And also when I added them together, 1 to 2023, what comes out to the number 10. And I feel like it's time for us to breathe and let go. A lot of us have been like holding our breath and waiting for things and they haven't come to fruition. And we're like, what the fuck? And we feel challenged and we're kind of angry, but we're also excited. And right, because we're like, yes, I need a change, but we're in a Mercury retrograde, and don't fear the retrograde, but honor the retrograde and be grateful for the retrograde because we learn so much about ourselves and each other. And now I know why they wanted the cards to come out. Look at how pretty the cards match the calendar. So, hope and humility and kindness. These are our key words. I really hope a lot of our tribe members watch this. If not, maybe I'll do a little shorts about it. But I'm just feeling like as light workers, we felt beat to shit. It was a rough fucking year. It was a rough year for everybody. I don't care where you live, where you come from. It was a rough year. And there were a lot of challenges, a lot of, I feel like mistakes, quote unquote, but of course they're not because they were meant to happen, meant to be. But when I say mistakes, I mean like, I feel like a lot of people were acting from a place of fear. So they weren't making wise choices for themselves. I feel like this is all of us in different ways, and I don't know. I just there's a lot to unpack from 2022, and I feel like January. Maybe I'll do. I'm gonna see what happens at the end of this week, how I feel. But I may do something in January. One of our little, how I like to do like a little challenge, a spiritual challenge. Sometimes they're a few days, sometimes they're a whole month. I don't feel like a month, but because January is usually the time where I kind of reset and relax and regroup. However, I also feel like we need some good medicine from spirit just to kind of really go through 2022 and like, each month and be like, wow, what happened? And I'm grateful for the calendars and for writing things down because it's nice to go back and look and see how far we've come. Be proud of ourselves and each other for the changes that we were brave enough to make, that were for our greatest and highest good. There's a lot of good medicine coming through from spirit. We're still in the 1212 portal. That opened up on December 12th and it'll be going until January 12th. So we still have 10 more days of this portal. And I feel like spirit wants us to really look at ourselves, really look at like who we are, what we're doing, what does our day-to-day look like? Are we happy with our day-to-day? Are we excited to go with the flow and not plan every day? That's been a great challenge for many of us, myself included. I mean, the controlling aspect and just how much happier I am when I do just let the flow go. And I'm enjoying my relationships more because I'm understanding things better. I didn't realize how much I was trying to control certain people, that I saw a certain future for them, and I didn't want to, watch them go down these really difficult roads. I could see the other path for them. So I apologize if I've ever pushed you too hard. I say this because I didn't like it when I was being pushed. However, now looking back on it, I'm so grateful that my shamans pushed me as hard as they did, because even when I was angry with them, which I was, and that's okay, even when I was angry with them, and you could be angry with me too, that's okay. It's like I may dip in and out of your life, but it's because I'm meant to do that. You're meant to face these challenges on your own. You're meant to go through certain things on your own. But there are times where it's hard for me because I could tell that they're going to end up at the same place and they've already learned that lesson. And I'm like, you don't fucking have to go down that road, dude. Like, you don't have to. You've learned that lesson. And then they, like, go down that road anyway. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'm sure I've done the same thing. I know I have with my shamans. But at the same time, there's beauty in that, because, sorry, I'm trying to, when I looked down, it was 10:55. I was trying to see if my phone is charging. No, it's not. So it was 10:55 and then it was 11:01. So I'm going to take the charger off. And if we lose light, I'll just use my flashlight light. Anywho, it's just been a really cool, awesome experience. And I understand now why it's important for some of us to leave our past behind. I was raised with this mentality that the more, my dad was like, at, a certain age, you will be blessed to be able to count at least 5 people, like 5 friends. And he put out one hand and he said, if you can count 5 people that you can trust, that you can call friend, that he's like, you are a very rich person. And I didn't understand or grasp that concept so much when I was younger, but when I got older, I really understood it. And as my age was like going quickly before me, I was starting to kind of freak out. Some people call it the clock is ticking. It wasn't so much that I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have a baby. My ovaries are going to shut down. Like, I got to, whatever. It was more like, oh shit, like, I'm getting older and what's happening and where am I going to end up and what am I doing and what am I going to, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I was grateful for, the spirit medicine that came through my friends and my family over those years, because I was struggling and I didn't know where to go. And I wasn't, I'm grateful I went to college. Just because I'm not doing for a living what I went to college for, I still would never trade that experience for anything. And I got to live like a college student and, work 2 jobs and go to school and live in a really cool vintage apartment, and a vintage high rise on Lake Michigan in Chicago. And it was just like this really great, experience with a doorman. Like, I got to be Carrie Bradshaw. It was really fun. And I wouldn't change it for anything. I was a fashion design major. It was amazing. And I may do that again. I can't imagine I won't, because I have some fabrics and leathers that Spirit had me keep. And I was like, okay, I'm either going to gift these to somebody or I'm going to make clothes for myself or something. I'm like, and maybe that's all. Maybe I was just meant to go and, because I remember when I was in one of my classes, one of my professors, 13, 17, was like, you literally like do not need to be here. She's like, you're a natural artist. And she's like, they're just trying to teach you like how to make money and ready to wear and all that. And she's like, you are a fucking couture designer. You're a one of a kind, human, and you're a one of a kind artist. She's like, get the fuck out of here. And I did. And I dropped out of school and, moved to Portland from Chicago. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And I tried, but I just was being pulled more into the spiritual world. So I don't know if I'll go back to fashion ever again. I hope so. But if not, I know that this is my mission now. And I realized that it was 8 years ago this week that I became a Reiki. And one of our dear tribe members, Amber, and I, we found each other in Reiki. And when I think about that, I'm like, that's so profound that we are still in each other's lives and, that we've been walking together this long, But I've learned so much from them and that relationship. And I could go on and on and on with so many of you that you've all taught me so much. And thank you for that. Thank you for that, honestly. And our tribe is growing, and I don't know exactly what direction we're going to go in this year, but I can tell you 1442 and then 1443, but I can tell you that we are going to be guided by the most profound 1450 energies that I have ever encountered, because I started feeling them last year and I almost had to say, like, I don't think I'm good enough. Like, I'm like, you guys are like, I don't know where you come from. You know what I mean? Or I was like, or who you are. Or I was like humbled. I'm still humbled in their presence. And, and I'm going to say this with soul knowledge and not ego, but I know that I come from them, whatever that means. And I try to be very fragile with my ego and my understanding, because my human was raised to believe, oh, you need to be the best. And, oh, you must be, a god too. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know 100%. I feel like either I've just worked with all these energies and these entities over many lifetimes through many incarnations. I don't know. I really don't, because right now it doesn't matter. Right now, I am just the medicine woman. I am here to bring the medicine. I am here to bring the messages, the transmissions, whether they come like this openly right now, where they're all talking to me and feeding me information, or when I channel Galactica. Channeling an actual entity like that is a different experience, because even as a medium, I've channeled entities and I've channeled people's family that have crossed over so they can hug them one last time, things like that. Like, yeah, I can do that. It's really, I had this one, Veronica, she was like, dude, you fucking smelled like my dad. And I was like, I know, it's bizarre. I smelled him too. Like, I knew what she meant. And, but this is different. Channeling Galactica from the 9 is like, oh, did you see that beautiful fairy angel that came through, or angel that came through? That's on a whole other level. And I feel like I'm not physically, emotionally, and mentally ready to totally take that on right now. I feel like once we're in our house, that she's gonna like come to life through me. But until then, I was like, I was very humble and very honest about it, and I had to bring the humility in and say, I don't think I'm ready for you. Like, my body's not healthy enough. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I do, and she assures me that I am, and that I can. But I personally feel like that relationship is going to come together when it's meant to. So, and it may just be small transmissions, maybe large transmissions, I don't know, but I've just never felt anything like her. And she's definitely a divine feminine energy. She's goddess energy for sure. She's very ethereal, very like, I can see why on the outside I feel like that, because I feel like, because I asked her, I was like, am I you? Are you me? Like, am I? And she was like, no. So I know that we're not the same. I know that if I come from her, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, like maybe she's an ancestor, but I'm not her. And I can say this with humility, like, wherever she comes from or whatever she is way more advanced than me. That I feel. And maybe it could just be that my consciousness hasn't arrived there yet, and I am, her. Who knows? I don't know, but I don't think so. I really don't, because seriously, I feel like I want to like bow in her presence. Like, I just want to be like, wow, like she's so cool, and she's so beautiful, and she's so real, and she's been human before, so she really has a deep compassion for human beings. She's quite exquisite, and and if I am her, which I don't think I am, but if I am her, then man, I can't wait to like find myself again. You know what I mean? Because it's like, she's just pretty special. Anyway, that being said, we are going to speak with the spirit animals, and I didn't play a song. They didn't give me a song, which, sometimes they do that, like a theme or something like that. So I'm just going to leave it very open, generic, refine, and focus energy. And then whatever comes through in the cards, if they have me put that at the beginning, or put this, when I upload it, then I will put a theme title. But as of now, it just is messages from the spirit animals. Where do we need to refine and focus our energy? So spirit, for this beautiful, glorious tribe, I am the magical medium. Welcome to this channel. I don't even think I said that earlier. And welcome to this transmission from the spirit animals, messages from the spirit animals. Okay, spirit and spirit animals. Now, these cards, I'm going to try and shuffle, because I have the tiniest little hands. But I'm trying to shuffle this way with my eyes closed, because these do have reverse meaning. So I don't want to pull, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to make sure that we get the medicine. Sometimes Spirit has me read the upright and the reverse because, you know, we're all different. We're all going through different, you know, levels of our consciousness and our own personal experiences. But all of this medicine applies to where we are right now in this time frame before we hit the full moon on January 6th. I believe it is the full moon in Cancer. Yes. So anyway, with that being said, sometimes they have us read the upright and the reverse because we're all, you know, some of us are in the upright energy, some of us are in the reverse energy, but the medicine's always very similar, if not the same. Okay, so here, oh, can I just tell you, we just watched this really cute movie and I'll put a link below. It was super cute. I thought it was a bunny. Alder thought it was a cat, and then he said he was a raccoon, but there was this really cute movie. It's kind of a children's movie, but if you're looking for a fun movie to watch with your kids that's like fantastical and fun, I forget what it's called. Rufus the something pet or something. You may have seen it, but it's really cute. I'll put a link below. It's free on YouTube right now. But we found out later he was a raccoon. I'm like, he doesn't look like a raccoon. Anyway, number 46, raccoon. And what is 46, you guys? 10. Did I not say that today was a 10 energy? 1 for January. It's the 2nd, so that's, add those together is 3, and then 2023. So 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So that is amazing. Also, they want, Anna made this beautiful moon painting. So I wanted to bring it in because we're on a moon cycle reading. When I, you know, they have the shield on here. And I was just feeling that strong. And we are waxing into the full moon energy. So I do feel like for some of us, this is also a time frame because I feel like in real time, whenever you watch this, it's timeless, of course, but in real time, it's the 2nd. So we're 4 days away from the full moon, which is the 5th moon phase. But I feel like in this waxing energy, there's something going on with each of us. I think we all have like our own little things going on. But I feel like they're all going to come to a head, if that makes sense. Also, the raven says hello. Ravens are all about magic. Angel number 2209. Also drink water, 2211, then 2212. If you're new here, and when I call out numbers, if it hits you, that's your angel number. If it doesn't, let it pass you by. Go research it on your own. You, whatever one you're drawn to, just put it in whatever search engine, let them pull up. Maybe you're drawn to a bunch of them, but there might be some more medicine for you there. Okay. Okay. So the raccoon, generous protector. Now, each of these animals have their own, do you see that there? How it has like their own word. And then they have also from Grandmother Twyla, they have their own little poem. Actually, I'll keep that there in case you want to keep it for yourself for mantras. Okay, so the message from the raccoon is, I want to put their little head in there. Raccoon, protector of the underdog, provider for those who have none. Do you wear the bandit's mask to hide the good deeds that you've done? Teach me to turn away from rich rewards or worldly acclaim, knowing that my generosity allows my warrior spirit to be reclaimed. That's beautiful. Also, it's on page 221. It starts if you were drawn to that. Okay. All right. So let's see what the raccoon has to say. I was like, do you want that light there? I almost feel like the raccoon wants to be back here, like in the woods. Have you noticed also that the black tourmaline has been in almost every single one of these readings that we've been doing recently? So look up and work with black tourmaline. Okay. If there are any other crystals here that you're interested in, message below or send me an email at themagicalmedium@gmail.com. But I can just tell you that we have apophyllite and Larimar, right? Am I saying that right? Selenite, Amethyst, clear quartz crystal, Moonstone, and we have rose quartz over here. So black tourmaline is very, very strong in protecting against electromagnetic smog. And I highly recommend you get some, especially if you work in your job where you're surrounded by people and computers and cell phones and things like that. Keep them at work, keep them in your car, keep them at home. One of my favorite crystals in the world is that. And then the other one that I really love is Labradorite. So it's important. The fact that we have generous protector as the keywords for the raccoon, I felt like that needed to be said. Okay, so raccoon carries the medicine of the protector of the underdog and provider for the young, the infirm, and elderly. Often called Little Bandit by Southern tribes, this Robin Hood of the animal kingdom teaches us about generosity and caring for others. When raccoon comes your way, you are being asked to contact your inner warrior to become a protector and generous provider for those in need. Raccoon medicine people have the uncanny ability to assist others without allowing them to become victims or dependents. Like the tribal chiefs of old, raccoon tends to the needs of the tribe before taking anything for itself. A troop of raccoons scouting for food is often a hilarious exercise in generosity. After rolling in the cornmeal or flour, they finally settle on their favorite morsels, giving the best tidbits to their lookout. Raccoons leave a watcher behind when raiding a campsite or mountain cabin, usually the dominant male. He is always fed first by the other raiders to honor his vigilance as the group's protector. This uncommon lack of greed is as rare in the world of humans as it is in the rest of the animal world as well. While other creatures fight one another for the best of a kill, Raccoon teaches the universal law of giving back to the sources of your strength, your guidance, and your protection. You are also reminded that benevolence and generosity come around full circle to reward the giver. If Raccoon wandered into your cards today, the little bandit may be telling you to look around and see who needs your strength at this time. Speak up in defense of another instead of remaining silent when others are gossiping. Maybe it's time to share the bounty of your time, your energy, or possessions with the less fortunate. But remember to help those in need develop their own protector and provider skills. In all cases, Raccoon asks that you honor yourself and others equally. Provide for your own needs, or your well will be dry when you choose to give generously. I'm going to read that again because something threw my eyes off to 2654. That's an angel number for somebody. It might have even been 2653, whichever one calls to you. It's almost like I couldn't read anymore. I just kept seeing numbers. Let me start that over. Okay, sorry about that. That's the one thing with what I do sometimes. It's like, wow, I'm like too much information at once. Okay, in all cases, Raccoon asks that you honor yourself and others equally. Provide for your own needs, or your well will be dry when you choose to give generously. Chiefs earn their eagle feathers when they promote every human's right to self-dignity. Acting in this manner brings that same honor to yourself and to your family. That's beautiful. So I'm going to read the contrary. Oh, did you say not today? Let me sit with spirit for a second. Nope, not today. We're not going to read the reverse today. If you're interested in the reverse meaning, if for some reason you're like, oh, did you see that angel fly through? If you're drawn to it, I will send you a picture. You can email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com and I will send you a picture, okay? And then you can work with that medicine. If not, don't take it as your own. Okay? All right. So any more messages, Spirit? Not at this time. Okay. And we are blessed. We are blessed. We are blessed. They want us to remember how blessed we are. And there's this really great line from Dolly Parton where she talks about being poor. And she says, it's from the coat of many colors. And she says, you're only as poor as, you allow yourself to be, because there's always a silver lining. There's always something out there, someone out there, that is struggling worse than you. Even if you can't believe that in your mind, it's true. And so think about them and send them love and prayers. Ask Spirit to watch over them, to protect them, to look out for them. If you have a roof over your head, you have food in your house, you have heat in the winter and air conditioning in the summer, you are richer than most people on this planet. And that is a fact. And every experience that I have been through, that I have struggled so deeply with, even with this home free situation, we've been home free for over 6 months now. And with every single thing that we have been through, I have learned more and more and more about humility and being humble, and how grateful I am that, okay, sure, I don't have running water or electricity, but do you know what I do have? I have a really strong, beautiful partner who doesn't mind getting into our wonderful, strong working vehicle and driving to the river and getting river water. I boil it anyway. We get bottled water. We, get beautiful bottled water from our local, it's a local well. They've been here for years and it's amazing. It's some of the best water I've ever had in my life from the Olympic Peninsula. And and the water that we get from the river is so pure and so beautiful because it's coming straight off the Olympic Mountains, and we boil it most of the time anyway. We don't drink it. We're not, using it for our food or to wash our food. But I was like, look at that. Look at how blessed we are that we live like not even, I think, 5 miles from the river, where he can go and do that. And he doesn't mind doing it. And he takes those big 5-gallon jugs, he's like a strong dude. I'm like, I'm sure there's someone out there that has to do that themselves. They don't have anyone helping them do that. I feel blessed that I have a partner to help me do that, and we take turns and we take care of each other. The raccoons have taught me so much. Same with Bubba. Like this morning, Bubba came into bed with us and she's got a little runny nose. And I was like, oh no, Bubba. I'm like, are you not feeling good? And we feed her really well, like really, really healthy food. And she hasn't had treats in weeks because I haven't found a local place that carries any healthy treats that she'll eat. And so long story short, I broke down and got her some of those Temptations. And I'm sure that's probably why she's sick, because, we were really sick and then she was holding space for us when we were sick. And even though animals and humans can't really get each other sick, it's like, but Bubba was holding a lot of space for us while we were sick. We were going through some shadow work, some deep, deep, dark shadow work. She is our familiar. She's like helping us. And now she's not feeling very well. And so we're taking care of her. And and I said, I go, you know why? I go, it's because I'm fucking feeding her these treats, these temptation treats, because that's the only thing that I know she'll eat. She loves those. I go, but that's like feeding your children Snickers, It's nice to give them a Snickers maybe once in a while, but otherwise there's like really good healthy candy to give your children, right? Or for yourself. It's the same thing. It's like our animals and what they eat and what they ingest. It's really important, Even the raccoons, it's like they have their standards, even though people are like, they'll eat anything. I'm like, not really. I'm like, they do have their standards. They can smell if it's bad. They're not going to eat rancid food or, whatever. And they're not going to feed it to their elders either. Right? They look out for each other. So there's something really important about that. So I feel like in this, refine and focus energy right now, it's focusing on self-care so that we can care for others. Self-care, then take care of others. Self-care, take care of others, right? It's like a beautiful symbiotic like circle of life. I love it. Also, if 46 means anything to you, that number might mean something to you, but also it's 10, right? So we're at the end. I feel like we just ended 2022. And of course it's just like anything else. When I talk about the moon phases, you don't just go from like the new moon to, the waxing crescent. It's like you're coming off the moon phase before that. It's dark for a reason. It's like it's dark for a week for a reason. Or it's like, it's going from like barely any light, coming off the waning, crescent, then going into the new moon. But it needs time to go from the new moon then into the waxing crescent, right? It's got to go through the moon phase. The earth has to rotate. It's like we have to go through that phase in order for that to happen. So it's the same thing with the new year. It always makes me laugh when people are like, I'm going to start my new year on this day. It's like, okay, that's cool. But you know what? Maybe just take small, wee little bites. 3326. Maybe just take small bites. If you want to make big changes, you have to take small steps to get there. You cannot go from A to Z without going A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, O, P, Q, R, S, right? It's like you have to go through every single letter of the alphabet. It doesn't work like that. You don't go from 1 to 10 like that. You have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? But when we get to 10, we're done. Then we're going to start again. You take away the 0, it's just a 1, and we're at the beginning. So it's the same thing. We may not be in the exact new moon phase of the beginning of the new year, but it's even better because we started, we ended 2022 on a new moon cycle to gradually take us into, you know, the new moon, which I'm actually going to look on my calendar. I don't know exactly what day it is. This calendar is a little more challenging, this book, because it's not like in my face. It's one of those, it's like this, like side by side, you know, so it's a little harder. I can't like see the whole thing like up here. You know what I mean? How you could see the whole thing. My other calendar was like that. So anyway, so the new moon is Saturday, January 21st. That's when you really want to set your intentions. Take what was left over in 2022. I mean, you think it's an accident either that Mercury's going to go direct 2 days before the new moon? We'll still be in the shadow, right? Because we're always in the shadow before and after. But I think it's very, very interesting that we are going to be ending the Mercury retrograde right before the new moon. So there's going to be some really interesting quiet time in here. So give yourself this month of January, give yourself time to come off of what we were, you know, going through at the end of 2022. Like we said, for a lot of people, it was very tumultuous. Even if you had a good year, it was busy, right? It's like there was a lot going on. I don't know why, but this is driving me crazy. I feel like it's like offset or something. I'm like here. I can get really obsessed. Okay. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like I need that balance, you know? Maybe I was meant to do that. Who knows? But yeah, so I'm feeling like just taking it easy from this moon phase, right? For this Capricorn moon. Not to mention, oh, I forgot to put in, that's what I didn't put in my calendar yet, is of like when the days of when it starts. But I know it's somewhere around there. The new moon is when Capricorn will be leaving the earth sign and will be going into the air sign of Aquarius. So that's a lot of change coming. You know, Mercury is going to be going direct, and then the new moon, and then we're going to transfer over from earth energy to air energy. Just allow yourself to start going with the flow of the, you know, you might want to, it might behoove you as well to create your own calendar like this, writing down the moon cycles, the, you know, the retrograde seasons, the cycles, like having all that there so you can kind of understand what's going on around you. You know, I feel like for us, the refine and focus is just really like remembering who we are, letting go of what no longer serves us with grace and gratitude, not with anger. You know, even if you are like, I had a shit year. Yeah, but you know what though? You probably learned so much. I'm not going to say you did for sure because I don't want to tell somebody what their experience was, but I'm guessing that you probably learned a lot more than you even realize, you know? So look at the last year with grace and love and gratitude, even for the hard stuff, especially the hard stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys, especially the hard stuff. But come on, did you see the last reading for the pick a reading for 2023? The alligator is our spirit animal for 2023. That's so interesting. And it's the number 50, which is also the number 5. So some of you may be turning 50 this year, but also 5, you know, 5s are about change and transformation. If you take off the 0, right? Then you're like also 1 to 10. It's like you're halfway there, 50-50. Could be that you need to, you know, seek some balance, but wow, that is wild. I mean, first of all, I can't remember the last time we pulled the alligator, so that 3751. So that in itself is super, super rad. Thank you, alligator. And I told you, I just watched that movie with the raccoon in it. We just, we have this new possum family. Apparently there's this massive, like, clan of like raccoons up here on our hill. We haven't really seen them yet, but we heard that they're more like up, like by the cabin, behind the cabin. So anyway, but it's just really interesting for me because I'm just like, wow, this is like just a lot of really cool stuff. So let's hear what the alligator has to say. Okay, 3820 as well. Lots of angel numbers too. I just wanted to show you. So the key word for the alligator is integration. And this is the integration of our head and our heart and our soul. And the integration of the spirit, the light workers with the 3D energy, like really, you know, immersing ourselves and showing people who we are and what we're made of. This is going to be a powerful year for light workers. Like this is going to be a like shit or get off the pot. Like this is your fucking mission. Like it's time. I just did this other little shorts today about purpose as well. There's just a lot is coming through, you guys. A lot is coming through. Okay, so alligator, let me drop my judgments. Accepting life with grace, so that forlorn care and worry will vanish from my face. Let me integrate each moment, digesting life with ease and counting all my experiences as equal opportunities. Oh, I love it. It's also on page 237, which is also the number 12 if you are feeling that. And we are not going to read the reverse of this, and I do not believe we're going to pull any more cards either. So this is our last message for this reading. It says, the powerful gift of alligator medicine is to fully appreciate and integrate all that life offers. Gator shows us the value of thoroughly digesting both the pleasures and pains of life. In many ways, alligator's medicine is reflected in its behavior. When Gator rolls under the water with its prey, its message is to roll with the punches when being attacked by life circumstances. Carefully storing its prey under a log until the meat is tender teaches us about patience and proper timing. I hear that. Also, I feel like this wants to come back over here. Love it. Choosing to laugh when tangled in your own seriousness can immediately diffuse the stranglehold of anger and judgments, self-importance, and inflexibility. Once our rigidity is removed, you are free to again integrate the present set of circumstances, finding what you may have formerly overlooked. Then you can learn Gator's lessons on how to digest the value of any life lesson. Gator medicine people refrain from passing judgment until they have examined all of the facts and seen all sides of any situation. It may be time to drop opinions and judgments so that the present situation can be fully understood. Gator might have surfaced in the river of your life to tell you to digest the situation at hand before making any rash moves. You could also be dealing with someone who's too serious or too rigid. If this is the case, embrace your flexibility, knowing that you are expanding beyond your former limits, even if others are wallowing in their self-created quicksand. Have you ever been rushing through life and not taking the time to count your victories or to digest your rites of passage? If so, it could be time to honor your progress. Interesting. If so, it could be time to honor your progress. Mindful that quick fix solutions do not support long-term goals. Exactly. Did we not just say this? The small steps every day. Avoid getting stuck in the duality and the quagmire of the human judgment game. Oh, this is so good. Use calm resolve, review your healing process and life lessons, integrating the growth that you have attained. In all cases, Gator is telling you that something may have escaped your perception. Ask yourself what viewpoint or possibility did not get factored into your assessment. Did that missing piece of the puzzle keep you from having an accurate overview of what is now occurring? If so, it is never too late to reevaluate the situation from a more integrated and flexible point of view. Remember, Gator's eyes and nostrils are often the only parts of its body above water while it senses its surroundings. Gator integrates all probabilities before it makes its move. And that, my friends, are our lessons today from the Refine and Focus Energy. And thank you, Spirit. Blessed 2023. This is going to be a cool year, you guys. Also, the gorilla came through from meditation. The gorilla was our spirit animal, I feel like a few years back. So when I was meditating, I was like, oh no, it was like I was talking to the gorilla and then like the alligator like came in and I was like, okay, so here you go. So this doesn't surprise me that it happened this way, but I'm super excited. Also, Spirit wants us to remember that the alligator is one of the oldest living fossils on the planet. They're very similar. Their sizes may have changed, gone up and down through different time periods, but they were once very, very large. They were one of the biggest predators in water and on land. So remember that, you know, like they said about the alligator looking, you know, above and below the surface, right? Like they can see everything. It's the same for you. You know, this is an old ancient animal with old ancient medicine. And so are you. If you found yourself here today, you come from an old energy. You were brought here to lead the way. You were brought here to be kind. You were brought here to be gentle, to be compassionate, and not judge. And it's easy for us to do. And it's easy to get trapped in the human ego and get that tangled up with the soul knowledge. And how you differentiate from the ego and the soul knowledge is it in the greatest and highest good of myself and others? And also, is it with ego, are you edging God / goddess out? Meaning, are you edging out where we come from, which is love and healing and compassion and understanding? So if it's like, well, you know what, they fucked me over, so I'm fucking them over too. It's like, that's okay. Well, that's where karma's going to come into play too. And I'm telling you right now, karma never forgets an address. And no matter how blessed you are, I brought that forward. No matter how blessed you are, it doesn't matter if you're here being a human right now. You're not like exempt from these, tragedies or horrible things that happen. People fucking die in our lives. People die suddenly. People die. People have illnesses. I mean, there are so many things that happen. And if we hold anger, if we hold on to what somebody did to us, instead of just letting go and letting goddess, right? Like what that really means is like, let karma sort that shit out. She's gonna fucking do her job. That's her job. She was literally created because it's like, no, you can't just go around willy-nilly doing whatever the fuck you want and not having any consequences. That's not how it works, at least here. And in the spirit world, we don't even have ego. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, dragons do not have ego. So when I see some of these movies where they're like the dragons or this, I'm like, but, oh, did you see that fairy fly through? Oh my, no, just to let you know, nothing is in front of my face. Like, nothing. I'm sitting right in front of that. Wow, that was really powerful. But also, I always think of alligators as kind of like the dragons, without their wings. But yeah, there was a lot of good medicine in this reading, you guys. 4606. I hope you take the time to really digest it and think about it. And let's just see, are there any more, do we have any more spirit animals that want to talk to us? No. And do we have any, if any of these fall up, I'll know they'll want you to read them. Oh my gosh. So we have 3 messages. This came through, and I was really excited. I did a little shorts on it. It says, you didn't choose the tea life. The tea life chose you. Now, for some of you, what this means is for 2023, you have got to give up caffeine. It is just not your friend. It's not your friend. You can do decaf, but there's still going to be some like caffeine in there. I'm just hearing like tea is better for you. And maybe you didn't choose the tea life, but the tea life is choosing you, and it's time. And I feel like some of you know, or maybe you get heartburn from coffee, even when you do decaf or something, but you don't from tea. There are so many cool creative tea shops out there now. They can do the same thing that you want with that coffee. And you can even make your own at home. I've gotten really, really good with, almond milk. I like take almond milk and, warm it up, and I'll even like put the tea leaves in there and like let them like cook for a long time, like getting fresh tea. You can make it something really special. But also I did a shorts on this, and I got purpose instead of the tea life. So you didn't choose the purposeful life. The purposeful life chose you. You did choose it. You're just remembering who you are. And if you don't know, it's time to remember. And 2023 is going to shake your trees. I'm telling you, you're going to figure it out. You're going to know. You're going to know. By the end of 2023, you're going to know. And it's about how much you're willing to give up to be who you really are. Everything you can wish for is all in one cup. And all you have to do is put that wish out into the universe, and spirit will bring you back what you need. Have you ever heard that Garth Brooks song, Unanswered Prayers? If not, look it up. That's your homework. Okay, and our last one is, I love this. This was our first message of the year. Remember to always have humility. Ha ha ha. But I love it, right? And I was like, yes. And so I did the shorts on humility. And humility is about being humble, right? And having grace. So that all of that is what we are meant to refine and focus in 2023, and start it during this waxing gibbous moon phase. All right, you guys. So those are our messages. Stay tuned for, like I said, I'm going to be doing some spiritual boot camp. I'm just not sure how or what or when it's going to happen. I can feel that my sickness is trying to come back. So after this reading, I've got to take a few days. Luckily, I've recorded a bunch of shit lately, but I got to take a few days off. Probably I won't be back until the full moon reading. So enjoy all the readings that I've put out, and anything else that Spirit has me put out or do on this channel or the Poetic Prophet. Until next time, take really good care of yourselves and each other. Oh, look at that. Perfect timing. Blessed be. Oh, also, P.S. my phone says 12:58. 12 is December for me, and 58 is 13, so that's my birthday. Anyway, I just wanted to say that because that was really awesome. Also, my phone's at 15%, if that means anything to you guys. 4909 and then 4910. Until next time, blessed be. Oh, love you. Bye.